The sun beat down relentlessly, casting long shadows across the Valley of Elah. The valley was vast and quiet, a serene landscape that would soon become a battlefield. Two armies faced each other, their banners fluttering in the wind. The Israelites, dressed in their traditional attire, stood on one side. The Philistines, equally formidable, were on the other side. From the ranks of the Philistines emerged a giant named Goliath, clad in bronze armor, wielding a spear and sword. Goliath, towering over everyone, shouted fiercely towards the Israelite army, "Send someone to fight me!" The Israelite soldiers were gripped with fear, their hearts pounding in their chests. No one dared to step forward to face the giant. They looked at each other, hoping someone else would volunteer. Day after day, Goliath emerged, his voice echoing through the valley as he issued his challenge. Day after day, the Israelites trembled in fear, their faith wavering. Where was God? Would he come to their aid in this dire moment? One day, a young shepherd boy named David came to the Israelite camp. He was just a simple shepherd, but he had a heart full of courage and faith. His brothers were soldiers in the army, and David had come to bring them food. As he arrived, he heard the booming voice of Goliath, the giant Philistine warrior, challenging the Israelites to send out a champion to fight him. He couldn't believe that no one would fight him. The entire Israelite army was paralyzed with fear, and no one dared to accept the challenge. David was a good shepherd. He had spent countless days and nights in the fields, protecting his flock from wild animals and ensuring their safety. He was small, but he was brave. Despite his size, he had a heart of a lion and the courage to match. He had killed a lion and a bear that tried to attack his sheep. These experiences had taught him to be fearless and to trust in his abilities. David knew that God would help him. His faith was unwavering, and he believed that with God's help, he could overcome any obstacle. David went to King Saul, the leader of the Israelite army. He approached the king with confidence and determination. David said, "I will fight Goliath." Saul was surprised. He couldn't believe that this young shepherd boy was willing to face the giant. He said, "You are just a boy. How can you fight a seasoned warrior like Goliath?" Goliath is a mighty warrior. He has been fighting since his youth and is feared by all. David answered, "The Lord saved me from the lion and the bear." He recounted his past victories and how he had always relied on God's strength. "The Lord will save me from Goliath." With unwavering faith and a determined spirit, David was ready to face the giant. Saul agreed to let David fight Goliath. He gave David his armor, but it was too big. David took his staff, his sling, and 5 smooth stones. He went out to meet Goliath. Goliath laughed when he saw David. He said, "You are just a boy. What are you going to do with a sling?" David said, "You come against me with a sword and a spear, but I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty." David put a stone in his sling, his heart pounding with determination. He knew this was a moment that would define his faith and courage. He swung it around and around, feeling the weight of the stone and the power of his belief. The air whistled as the sling gained speed. With a swift motion, he let the stone fly, his eyes fixed on the giant before him. The stone cut through the air with incredible speed. The stone hit Goliath right between the eyes. The impact was so precise and powerful that it stunned the giant. Goliath fell to the ground with a crash, his massive body hitting the earth like a fallen tree. The battlefield went silent for a moment. David had won the battle. The young shepherd stood triumphantly over the fallen giant, his heart filled with gratitude and awe. The Philistines were scared and ran away, their confidence shattered by the unexpected defeat of their champion. The Israelites were joyful and chased after them, their spirits lifted by David's incredible victory. They pursued their enemies with renewed vigor. David had saved the day. The people celebrated him as a hero, surrounding him with cheers and praise. He knew that God had given him the victory. David looked up with gratitude, understanding that his faith had been rewarded. David's courage teaches us that even when we face big problems, we can be brave with God's help. His story is a reminder of the power of faith and determination. No problem is too big for God. With faith, even the smallest among us can overcome the greatest challenges.